Welcome to Most Haunted Extra. The famous Jamaica Inn had proven to be more than just a well-known novel. It was a terrifying place, and here is what the crew had to say about it.
Shown before.
It was almost, to me, it was almost like kind of like a shadowy body shape with a head. It was weird.
Yeah,
I've not seen an outline before.
You were actually seeing it, okay? It was actually manifesting that way. I saw it with my eyes myself. You know what this soul does? To draw attention. If anyone's around this area.
Yeah.
You know the door in which we came in before?
Yeah.
He really, if someone's close by, he gets hold of that latch and whoa, like this. And he would, the anger he displays in the atmosphere of the way he was, you know, his life taken from him, he is also one to throw this anger into the atmosphere. So what transpires, I feel, is someone who might have to come back here would get the full brunt and the full effect of that anger.
Well, we've just come back from the night vision walk around. It was amazing. I think there was a little bit of mass hysteria in the generator room. We picked up on some entities in the old part of the bar, the oldest piece where the original pub was. But we went out into the generator room. There were some noise. I thought, and I could swear I heard some footsteps walking to the door. I looked out. There was no one there. Everyone said, "Oh, it must have been Peter, or the owner of the place," but it wasn't. And there were no footsteps going back in when I checked that were wet, which it would have been because you have to go outside and it is wet outside. Regarding the actual generator room, there were a lot of noises, but it's a very old place. It's a very old building, and the roof is in bad need of repair. A lot of noises. It was strange that the noises seemed to happen when they were asked for, specifically asked for, as opposed to just random noises. But the one bit where everyone ran, apart from Tom and myself, was when something allegedly grabbed hold of Stuart. I do trust Stuart explicitly. So something actually happened to him, that's for sure. Whether it's something grabbing him or whether it was cold, muscle spasm or whatever, we don't know. But everyone ran, and I think it was one of those moments for Most Haunted where, from where I was, I could see Vet, Phil and Derek all running in 3 different directions, which was quite funny. But anyway, let's see what happens.
Oh, you recording?
Yes, anyway, it was funny. Certainly not proof, but it was certainly proof that fear is contagious. But I'm going to talk to Stuart now and see what he says about whatever touched him.
I don't know where to start. I'm not putting that on. My hands are shaking. I've just been in the generator room. We've just done the walk round with Derek and Yvette and the rest of the crew, and I had to be out of shot, obviously. So I was knelt down at the side of the wall behind Derek, and getting to the end, of the state, and I'm sorry, I just can't talk at the moment. My hands are just going, oh fuck. Anyway, we've just done a piece of camera with Yvette, Phil and Derek in the generator room, and I'm knelt down at the side of the wall and coming to the end of the piece of camera with investigation. Something brushed across my back. Now, I don't know what the hell it was, but there was things going on in there that weren't nice. So that's brushed across my back, and I just got up and screamed and got the hell out of there as soon as possible. I got into the alleyway, and I physically couldn't get me breath. I was out of breath through sheer shock, and I honestly don't believe I'm going to go back in there tonight. It's going to take a lot of persuasion for me to go back in there and conduct a seance with a member of the crew, but who knows, we'll wait and see.
Okay, well that was interesting. We just finished the night vision walk around, and we ended up in the generator room. Do you want us to leave this place now? Do you want us to go? If you do, can you give us a sure sign that you can hear my voice? Please.
Fucking hell, I pooed my pants.
Something just brushed me at the side.
You're alright. You're alright. You're alright.
No, I'm just. And what a scary experience that was. I've done part of my hand and down my wrist and my leg as well. So I'm trying to get out. So we all heard basically, I was asking if somebody would sort of show us and make a sign if they didn't want us to be in there and to get out. And slowly but surely, little things were being thrown at the beginning. Then we all heard something like glass or metal being thrown. Phil swore he saw a face behind him. I thought I saw an outline of somebody in the rafters. And the more we asked, the more things seemed to be making noises. And then, of course, the most frightening thing, which made us all run out of there, was when Stuart said, something's touched me, and then there was this almighty noise, like a bang or a scrape of something, and it just frightened us all to death. And that was just after I'd said, you know, please let us know if you don't want us in here, give us a sure sign. And that's the biggest sign as I think we'll get. I do know that we have to go back in there. A small group of us will go back in there because it's definitely active. There is something in there. Now, whether there be a scientific or logical explanation, I don't know. But by the end of tonight, hopefully we'll find out what's going in there. If we all go in with sort of a let's be sensible, let's think logical, then, you know, maybe we'll sort of try and find out what's in there. I'm still a bit shaken, so if I'm not talking sense, that's probably why. That was really frightening. All in all, so far, it's been a very interesting evening. We're about to have dinner now, and then we'll get ready to split up and do our separate vigils, so we'll see what happens. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's been really exciting.
I've got to laugh because I don't think I've ever seen or been so scared in my life. And of all people to freak out the most, Stuart of all people, he usually keeps me quite level-headed. But I went in the cellar, or the generator room earlier on, to set up one of the lock-off cameras, or should I say pick up one of the lock-off cameras. And it's probably the wrong word for saying it, but you could feel the electricity in the air, even though it was a generator in. But you know, my whole body, pins and needles, my hair stood up on end. And I think going back in there with Derek, I think it just set whatever, you know, who, what, whatever is in there off. And I think, in one way, I'm very scared, but I've got to laugh about it because I have a feeling that I'm going to end up back in there later. But no. But no, Stuart, of all the people, Stuart is the most sort of level-headed guy out of them. I'm usually sort of, you know, a bit dubious, scream every once in a while, but I'll dive in a hole first. But with Stuart freaking out, I don't think I've got any hope tonight, so anyway, wish me luck.
Well, that was interesting. Just going back when I first for Derek's walk around, actually, the nighttime walk around in night vision. Everything's going fine, and we went into the generator room, and very strange things started happening in there. Yvette was asking if there's anybody here, you know, and you don't like us being in here because we've heard it's a bit of a malevolent presence. And she's saying if anybody's there and they don't particularly like us there, give us some proof that you are there and we will leave. So, first time of asking, something sort of dropped onto the floor, so like a stone or something on the roof. Okay, fair enough, not exactly conclusive, so we asked again, is there anybody there, give us a sign, if you're not happy with us here, we'll go. And something metallic landed on the floor, literally within a couple of seconds of us asking that. And then the big clincher. We sort of forced it again, and Yvette asked if there's anybody there again to give us a definitive sign, and we will leave. And literally 3 seconds, 4 seconds after asking that, Stuart, who was sat to my right, leaning against the wall, crouching, leaning against the wall, suddenly let out a cry, and there was a sort of big commotion, a noise, a weird noise, sort of a shuffling noise, and pandemonium ensued. What had actually happened was that Stuart, after Yvette had asked that question, Stuart had been sort of raked across his back. He sort of described to me, and he sort of went like across my back. And that was it, that was enough for him, obviously it would be, and he was like, F this, we got to get out of here.
Tom.
No, over your shoulder.
No, it's a reflection of the camera.
No.
There's no one behind John.
No, it was almost like I'd seen an arm behind your head,
Really?
John.
No, there's a huge shadow. I can see that.
No, it was a white, like a proper arm, behind John.
It wasn't a shadow, no?
No, it wasn't a shadow.
Okay.
I thought when you said Tom, I thought, oh right, it's Tom, but there's
No,
no one there.
Tom's to the left. Tom's there.
If there's anyone behind me,
Prod.
please show your arm again.
Can you hear me? I promise this is the last time. We just need to make sure that you can definitely hear us. Do you want us to leave this place now? Do you want us to go? If you do, can you give us a sure sign that you can hear my voice? Please.
Something just touched me at the side.
Fucking hell, I've pooed my pants! Shit! Fucking hell! You alright?
Yeah.
Alright. Jesus Christ! Get out of here. What happened? What happened?
No, I'm just
You're right, Yvette.
Alright. Well, I was crouched down right at the back, and something came up alongside me, and that's when I screamed.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I'm fucking shaking like a leaf, I am. My legs are going.
You know.
Fucking hell. You want to see my legs?
There's no way I am going back in there tonight. No, it's not happening.
I am.
There's just too much going on in there.
I will, definitely.
You're right.
yeah, fine. Just whack my. What came down?
Yeah, what was that noise? I thought that was you jumping up.
Join us after the break and find out exactly what happened to the crew during the all-night vigils.
You see that? What's that? What? Shadow.
Oh God, that was the weirdest thing ever.
Welcome back. Kath, our makeup artist, had just come from a vigil, clearly shaken by what she had seen.
Oh, I can't do it. Okay, I've just done vigil with Derek, Phil, Simon and myself, and we've been in room 4. As we went in, we sat down, settled, and the boys asked me to speak and ask for Jack. Now, I can't remember what's happened through the day with the history sign. I didn't even know there was a Jack. So we sat down and I asked for Jack. And suddenly I saw a shadow that was probably about 3 feet high go across by the chair.
You see that?
What's that?
The shadow went across there.
What? I didn't see a thing.
Derek, I did see that.
You saw it, love, didn't you?
I saw that, yeah.
Well, let's hope we caught it on the wide.
shadow went right across from that chair to this chair.
You're joking.
You saw it, love?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes.
Kath, how you
You
feeling?
did.
Oh, that's weird.
You seen it with your own eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just... You right, Kath?
Yeah, oh God, that was the weirdest thing ever.
The shadow went.
Which was so unexplainable. It was weird. But the shadow went fast, like it scurried across. It was weird. I just felt, I don't know, I just felt like an emotion had come over me. Maybe because it was excitement, because I'd finally seen something as such, but I don't know, it was weird. It was really, really weird. It sort of makes you, because I was maybe with Derek, I knew that I was okay and I was protected, but I felt like more that I wanted to see more. So we then moved on to another room and asked for more. I seemed to get more responses when I asked, which was a little bit scary. Maybe I felt somebody touch my hand and poke me, and we were asking for a lady this time, but we didn't really get much from that. It still feels really, really strange about seeing the shadow. The shadow could not have been made by the camera with Simon with the camera with a shadow, not at all. They weren't in the position, and that shadow was never made again. This was definitely something separate. I don't know, maybe later on tonight somebody else might see something. Let's hope they do. But it did freak me out a little bit. very unexplainable.
The most significant part of that vigil, though, for me, was that Kath and Derek, for that matter, saw a shadow about 4 feet tall, a very dark shadow, 4 feet tall, go from one corner of the room to approximately halfway across the room. Kath is, I believe, a sort of very reliable person for this kind of thing. So I think she's, what she saw, she actually saw. Unfortunately, Simon and myself didn't see that. So, but that's not to say that it wasn't there. It's a strange one. I wish I was looking in the right place at the right time, as it were. But hey, well done to Kath for seeing it. We missed it, unfortunately. But not to worry, there's plenty of opportunities to catch it again. If it does it again, and plenty more vigils to come yet.
Say that. Try again.
Go on, you too.
Yeah, because it seems to respond to you.
How's it feel in here?
Good.
Yeah?
It's very spiritual. I think
I've actually just come back now from a vigil with Yvette, Ian, Tom and Suzanne, and Yvette appears to have caught some footage of what does appear to be a woman looking right back at her in the mirror in a bonnet, and me and Ian also saw what looked like a cat in the room as well. Very interesting stuff actually. It's possibly some of the best footage I think I've seen, but we'll have to see, when it's blown up in the edit and stuff. But overall, the Jamaica I'm very impressed actually. It's been an interesting one. Yeah, good stuff, Jamaica in.
We've had a few bangs when we were in room 4. Still a few more, so Ian's just gone outside to investigate.
This is the whole thing with me. I find that freaky things happen. It's easy to read things into them. I think if you're being rational about things, it's very difficult to suggest that it's anything else other than just reality of this world. Coincidences, wind, weather, drafts, noises that happen naturally. But an interesting experience all around, I think. I think I've certainly had an interesting time.
I'll get you out.
We went up to rooms 4 and 5 in the corridor. Nothing happened in room 4. In fact, it just felt absolutely fine and all of us could have gone to sleep. But room 5, well, that was a different story altogether. It was terrifying. We picked up these loud bangs as if they were outside the door when there was nobody there, or possibly inside the room. And then I looked at the mirror in the bedroom, and I thought, it scared me to death. I picked up a face looking at me in the camera, and then some tiny, whether they're specks of dust or orbs, I don't know, were coming out of the mirror. I don't know whether it is a face or it's just lines in the mirror that have made up a shape. And Ian then picked up on the woman, a woman who'd actually been raped. And when it was lovely because I actually saw him, he sort of went through this process of sending off to the light. He got very emotional. And then this sort of face disappeared from the mirror, which was really odd. But there again, you have to take into account that we're all really tired, so I don't really know what we're seeing. And at the moment, you know, I haven't a clue until we're sitting in the edit and looking at things very closely. You won't be able to see. Anyway, it's been a long night. It's been an eventful night, I think. I think we did really well, and thoroughly enjoyable. This place is definite. There's something odd about the Jamaica Inn. Definitely. Frightening. I'm starving.
Death by pants. Stuart's pants.
Yeah. You have, John.
Oh, we're doing this again without chewing.
We'd use it today.
Gonna get dry now.
How long's that going for? That's the way it goes. Sometimes it's all go, sometimes it stood still. But